Welcome, listeners, to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, hosted by Rene Bravo and Bryan Quevedo. If you are a new listener of the show, please follow us on our socials on Instagram at Keepin' With The Nerds and Twitter at Keepin' With Nerd. Our podcasts are recorded in Whittier, California, and are posted on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts every Wednesday at 11:30. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
To change the story.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the story. You know what? Thanks to you and my fiance, I'm addicted to TikTok.
Yes!
No, I don't like that.
No, it's funny, man.
No, because here's the thing I don't like about TikTok.
Yeah,
I can't manage my time. So with YouTube, if I'm watching a YouTube video, I know that a minute is 10 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah.
I can, in my mind calculate, if I start watching this video at 2:43 p.m., I know that I will end at 2:53 in a couple seconds.
No, that's fair.
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
TikTok? Yeah, okay.
You're stuck.
Okay. All right. Oh, look, it's Pudgy. Ow, ow. Like
Right.
all that.
That's the thing.
I love that dog, by the way. I love that dog.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm just scrolling through everything and I'm just like, one moment it's 2:43 and then I look over, it's like 5 and I'm like, what the time warp? I don't like it.
I don't like it.
So thank you guys.
You're welcome.
For introducing me to this dumb drug called TikTok.
TikToky. It's them TikToks.
Oh man. The one thing I do, okay, besides the length of the videos and how fast time goes while watching this, I've never felt as old as I do until I started watching TikToks.
TikTok likes to point out your age a lot.
Yeah.
And one in particular was a TikTok guy that made a video where basically he's like, trying to buy alcohol from a liquor store. And he goes, do you want me to take out? He pulls out his wallet and shows the ID. The ID's in his wallet. And he goes, do you want me to take out the ID so you can look at it closely? No, I can see the one from here. He goes, what? He goes, the one. That's the first number in your birth year, right? It's just the realization, because it's 2021.
Yeah.
Kids born in 2000 are turning 21 today or this year.
Kids born in 2021.
Yeah, no, the kids born in 2000.
Oh, are barely turning 2021.
Are just barely turning 21 in 2021.
I'm not old. I'm not. I'm barely 26. Am I?
I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 this year.
I'll be 27. My back.
Hey,
oh,
at least you're not a year away from year and a half away from being 30.
Yeah.
That's me.
If we have any listeners 30 years and above, I'm sorry. We don't mean to insult your guys' age.
It's
just for us. I'm not mentally ready.
Yeah, the whole getting old thing is hitting us now.
I still watch Pokemon. I still watch superhero movies.
Yeah, I am not a successful adult. Okay.
Mental breakdown ensues. It's over. Oh man, what a way to start this, man. Thanks TikTok.
Thank you TikTok for showing also how old and my inevitable mortality as well.
How
too.
Inevitable. Oh.
I hate realize sometimes this is gonna get dark. I hate realizing that I'm gonna be dead one day.
Okay, so
I get those moments where I'm thinking about it and I'm just like, oh God, it freaks me out.
So yes, I understand you.
Yeah,
I understand where you're coming from, but so I don't know how this idea freaks people out.
Yeah,
but I always like thinking of the fact of how small and insignificant of a life form we are. When I start thinking about like space,
you think of like
what's out there,
stuff that literally impacted reality, and stuff like that.
Not to make anyone seem like they're not significant or anything. If you're a successful human being or you're proud of who you are, and are living a happy life,
that's fine.
Good on you, because that is the purpose. That should be, as Soul taught us, the purpose of life is not to find purpose, but to find happiness and enjoy life. If that is what you're doing right now, perfect, keep going. But from a scientific perspective, somewhere out there in space, there may be other life forms, and we're just a speck.
That's it.
A tiny atom to this entire thing we call space.
Also, it also freaks me out that thinking 100 years after I'm dead, there won't be any memory of me at all.
Damn.
Like,
Damn.
Like
Did we just freak people out?
We just freak people. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just sometimes that happens to me.
What are you smoking? Nothing. We're high on life.
We're high on life.
And energy drinks.
Yes.
And we haven't even opened them.
No, we haven't.
Oh my
You know
God.
what? I haven't even pulled it up yet. The intro. I gotta pull it up.
Are you serious?
I'm like doing this and I keep forgetting.
This only happens when you have to do it.
When I have to do
When
it.
you have to do it.
Mhm.
And I don't know why. Renee, I need you on your game. I need you to get ready. We have a jam-packed
I know.
episode because you know
There's
what?
a lot that Marvel kind of like showed us a lot of stuff this week.
Let me tell you what Marvel did here. Marvel came in and they've been in your house. They were just hiding in your attic without you realizing it. They were like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let DC have their moment. Let them celebrate.
DC
let them
fandom?
enjoy. let them have their moment. They have HBO Max. They got
it.
Batman animated on there. They've got Harley
Wonder
Quinn.
Woman came out.
You got Wonder Woman 84. You have Batman Beyond.
Oh, that finally came on
Yeah.
HBO Max.
So it's like, okay, you just enjoy it. And then they just came out of nowhere. Like, not out of nowhere, but like we think it's out of nowhere. They just busted the attic door down. It's like, surprise, mother. And that was it.
Yeah.
So we know. We didn't know,
Yeah.
but we knew.
Well, let's get into it after the intro.
All right, let's hit it. Renee, go for it.
Hello, citizens. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, aiming to be Whittier's #1 podcast of all things nerdy. I'm your host, Rene.
This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Issue number 30. 31 issues.
Breaking into the 30s now. The dirty 30s.
Ah, my back! Just, man, 30s. Just like how we'll be in about 2 years. Well, 3 years for me, 2 years for you.
Shut up. Get out of here now. I'm not doing this podcast.
I quit.
I quit.
Well, guys, Keeping Up with the Nerds is just going to be me. You're opening it.
I'm opening it.
Oh,
we did
Jesus.
the intro and everything.
Oh, man. We haven't even started. We're already hyped up.
I know. Do we really need this? Too bad I opened it.
Yeah, we do. So, jam-packed issue. Like we said, Marvel, we've known they've been there. We know what was coming. But for some reason, do we even know the reason? No, I'm going to say no, we don't know the reason. All these rumors started coming out. And then we're recording this on a Friday. Friday what? January 15th?
January 15th.
So Wandavision just came out. And now the door's wide open for speculation to happen.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Wandavision didn't give us much, but it gave us enough to kind of think about where the MCU is going to be headed in Phase 4.
Yeah.
So that's the topic of this issue. Marvel, what are you doing?
Marvel, what are you doing?
Print it. Print that headline. Publish it.
There you go.
Papers on Monday. Done. So, let's start with WandaVision.
Yeah, because that's like the newest, freshest thing right now. It's in our heads. It's in our minds. We did 2 videos about it. You know,
We got it all out of our system.
yeah. So now we can actually have a civil conversation and talk about it and stuff.
Yeah. So before you go on, you
Yeah.
did say we did 2 videos on them. They are
did.
on our YouTube channel.
Would they be on?
If I'm a good editor, we'll be up on Monday. So this issue came out on Wednesday. So
Yeah.
they should have already been up. But we're going to be recording these videos specifically on YouTube. We did commentary tracks with Mandalorian. We're
Yeah.
doing something different to promote the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All of these will be releasing on Monday.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And they're just going to be our thoughts on the specific issue. So you're going to be seeing our lovely faces. Hopefully lovely.
Yeah. I think so. Screw you.
I hope so too. Yeah, thank you. So they'll be up on Monday, every Monday, WandaVision, every time an episode comes out.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think. Go subscribe to our YouTube, comment, let us know.
Yeah.
And they're all our thoughts anyways, just like these issues. So
And if you want in-depth conversations, we'll talk about it back here on the podcasts.
Yes.
Whenever they come out.
yes, Wednesdays. Whenever they come out.
Whenever they come out.
Wednesdays
If
at
you're a good
11:30.
editor, yes.
Yes. God, don't expose me.
I'm sorry. I love you, Bryan.
So anyway, let's talk about WandaVision because you said it perfectly. It is the first thing that came, or it's the most recent thing that came out at the moment, and it's giving us a lot to think about in terms of all these rumors that are coming out now, which are real, which are fake, which ones do we think are real?
Well, now there's like even rumors that they're changing up filming upon Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange movie now.
Yeah, all this is coming out.
It's like, dang, all right.
Yes. So we won't be talking about their thoughts on the episodes here because that's going to be in the video. But we will say, what is WandaVision? We'll ask this. What is WandaVision bringing to Phase 4?
So obviously, if you guys didn't know, Marvel did announce that this is the beginning of the new phase. WandaVision will begin the whole new phase now.
This is coming directly from Kevin Feige.
Yes.
Okay.
He likes to be like, I was just really quick. I love that Kevin Feige basically likes to be, what was the Apple guy's name?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. He likes to be like Steve Jobs and present everything and loves to have the crowd's reaction and stuff like that.
But I will say, let me add one thing.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs had a turtleneck.
Yes.
I love how the photo of Kevin Feige is him in a suit with a baseball cap.
Yeah, that's his aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand why you think he's like a Steve Jobs. We're going to make everything a presentation.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And
And then when I say something, the crowd's going to love me. Yes! Bask in the cheer! I'm sorry. That's how I thought Steve Jobs was, and that's how I think Kevin Feige is.
I probably, if we ever get the chance to meet him, I'd love to see if that's actually a reality.
But so WandaVision, back on WandaVision now. Basically, I think that this will set up Secret Invasion. I think
Secret Invasion, according to the books, or a different Secret Invasion?
Way different Secret Invasion, I think. But that's the thing, is that they did announce they will be doing Secret Invasion that will have Nick Fury in it. But the thing is that when they set up the Skrulls originally, it was in Captain Marvel, and they were more, at least the Skrulls that we saw, they were basically like refugees,
yeah.
You know. So we didn't see any evil Skrulls, but then again, the evil Skrulls come from the Skrull Queen and stuff like that. These Skrulls didn't have a queen per se. They just basically were just like, you know, they were just on their own essentially. So maybe we're going to get more of that later on. We will see that there are different types of Skrulls or something like that. They are, because
you're getting all of this from WandaVision?
I am, because, well, the thing is that there's a lot of stuff, because Sword is a big input into WandaVision.
And we saw them in episode 2.
Yeah. And Sword deals with intergalactic problems. They are the first line of defense when it comes to alien invasions and stuff like that. So Sword played a big part in Secret Invasions as well. So that's why, you know, with them trying to introduce, and mind you, this is the first introduction of Sword in the MCU. In WandaVision, this is the first time where they have, you know, mentioned or shown us anything. But the thing is,
no, you said it was in Captain Marvel, the end credits scene.
No, in Far From Home.
Far From Home. That basically, now looking back at it now, that was the setup of Sword. Okay.
But the thing is that Sword was one, like I said before, Sword does deal with, you know, the Secret Invasion a lot in it, and they have to deal with like the Kree as well too and stuff. So I think they're setting up either Secret Invasion or just basically setting up more intergalactic problems now, that now we're going to face those in the future as well. Another thing is Kang the Conqueror as well too has been mentioned that he will be in another Marvel movie. I forgot which one. I want to say, was it Guardians, I think, or something?
Guardians 2?
Guardians 3, maybe. I'm not too sure.
Or you're saying that he might be a character in Guardians 3.
He's going to be, because he's been cast as well too, so he's going to be featured, and he's obviously he's a time traveler, but he's also from other planets as well. So I think we're going to delve more into the spacey part of the Marvel universe as well too. So
for me, I don't know how you got all that from WandaVision, because I'm looking at WandaVision and I still think of it as like a standalone series. Still, I feel like Phase 4 is going to have a lot more connections to TV shows and other, properties and stuff.
Yeah.
But it'll do a much better job than it did when they did things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was connected to the MCU, but it wasn't really done well.
It didn't execute well at all. I mean, so whenever something happens in the cinematic universe, it ripples into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But it was late.
Yeah.
Like really late. Or the thing I didn't like about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that it was kind of presented in a way that was like, do you really, like, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
If you want to, then do. So if you're giving me the option of not watching it, if it's not interesting to me at all, then I'm just not going to watch it.
So the one thing that I didn't like when it came to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was that it was basically like you said, it was always late or always the last thing to happen in it. One in particular was that it's funny because when they did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a year later, Winter Soldier came out. And then basically that whole story arc was that, Hydra's been hiding underneath S.H.I.E.L.D. the entire time. And basically that means like, okay, so Captain America took down S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra at the same time. So it's like, okay, so what does that mean for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now? It does affect it, but then
they had to play the story all the way up to that point.
It seemed like the writers got the mention of that last minute, and they're like, oh, wait, okay, so there's no more S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Right. We got 3 episodes, guys. 3 episodes.
And for some reason, they're like, okay, we gotta really dwell on that and stuff. But I don't know, because and then like you said before, whenever the way they presented it was like, okay, you can watch S.H.I.E.L.D., but you don't have to. In Avengers Age of Ultron, when Nick Fury comes in with a helicarrier, in that same year, it explains, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it explains how he got that helicarrier. But then I'm thinking in my head, I'm just like, do I really need to know that? Like, I can just say in my head, it's Nick Fury.
It's a companion series.
Yeah.
It's not that you need it. It was just there and presented itself.
The thing is that it would be cool if it was just as important as the cinematic universe.
I think that this is what Phase 4 is going to do much better. Yeah. When we look at WandaVision, you get the introduction of S.W.O.R.D. Yes, it was already alluded to that fact in Far From Home, but WandaVision is going to be that full-on introduction of what S.W.O.R.D. is.
Yeah, like S.W.O.R.D. is full-fledged here now. It's ready.
And not just that, but when we look at Phase 4 as a whole, Phase 4, we get the rumors that it's intergalactic. It has to do a lot with magic. Now these rumors are coming out that it's interdimensional and there's going to be different universes and stuff. You're getting all of this, and S.W.O.R.D. and WandaVision are going to open up that door. It's just that tiny little crack that's leaking water. You're going to get all that, but you just have to wait for that giant explosion to happen so that everything comes through. Right now, we've only got 2 episodes of WandaVision, so there's really not much to predict. We know that, Wanda is in some sort of trouble because we left her at the end of Endgame kind of accepting the fact or trying to figure out a way to accept that Vision is dead, right? Because he said that she was talking to Clint. Yeah. So we don't know what happened between that and here.
Yeah, because that's where we're left off. We're left off from her in Endgame where she talks to Clint, and they talk about both Natasha and Vision being dead and not being there to see them succeed and how the world is. It's back to normal now. And then it kind of just ends where it's just like basically, Wanda's saying they know. And that's it. They know.
Yeah, and that's it. But then WandaVision is...
We're led to believe, like you said, that
she's caught or something.
Yeah, that she's, accepted it. And then now it feels like she's either caught or stuck or... I don't know. So my prediction was overall is that maybe she was working with S.W.O.R.D. with something and she ran into something and now she's created this basically pocket dimension that's, I don't know, or
word
pocket
dimension.
world or warp.
The word dimension. So this is opening up the possibilities of bringing in things.
So it could by the end of the series, it could lead up to her finding or going to Doctor Strange, and then we see where she goes in with Doctor Strange and what's the movie called? The Madness of the Multiverse or something like that.
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because what's her name? Wanda. What's her last name?
Oh, I was gonna say Romanoff, but
No,
that's
that's
Natasha.
Natasha.
Maximoff.
I
Yeah.
could not. I don't know
Romanoff and Maximoff. That's not original. Like,
but I love how they're making her an essential part here. Now she feels really essential.
she does. And then you know what's funny? I noticed that the accent's gone now. It went from like a heavy accent in Age of Ultron, and then like Civil War.
I gotta watch that again because I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, in Age of Ultron, she talks like this. It's super like deep Russian accent, you
And then
know?
she just lost
And then
it.
like in Civil War, it's like a little bit lighter and stuff. Vision, you know. And then like I think in Age of, and then like in Infinity War, she's almost talking normally, like in her normal American accent.
I wonder what production did to kind of just. I wonder if like the conversation was. Maybe Elizabeth Olsen was just kind of like, I don't want to do the accent anymore.
I think
and they
so.
said, okay, just work it out and kind of make it natural. I didn't notice it until you pointed it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, though I've noticed that for a while, ever since like because in
But I've only
Endgame,
seen Age of Ultron a couple times, and that's probably why.
Yeah.
Because it's not my favorite Avengers movie.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
it's not like I'm not going to put it on like Civil War or Winter Soldier. You know?
That's true. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
If
by
it's
that.
on, I'll watch it, but it's not like something essential. But going back to the point of, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not being an essential thing to watch to keep up with the MCU, Phase 4 is going to have all these different series that are going to make you feel like you have to.
So maybe this is the outcome: is that they're planning on basically after WandaVision, it's like we'll see it spread apart after, where Wanda does more of the reality stuff, interdimensional stuff, while Sword handles all the intergalactic stuff, and then later on in the phase they come together again towards the end and stuff.
Yeah,
like
because that was kind of the main theme setting up between Phase 2 and Phase 3, right? Because the Avengers didn't meet the Guardians until the end of Phase 3. We were getting everything that was happening on Earth.
Yeah.
And then we got the introduction of intergalactic fights that were going on with the Guardians. And then they clashed together, and that's how Phase 3 ended, with Thanos basically having the Infinity Stones. So I do see that where it's like, you have your dimensions and multiverses, and then you have your space stuff that's still going to be in existence, and now this is coming into a clash.
Yeah.
Maybe that gets introduced in WandaVision, but again, it's like there's not enough for me to believe that it's going to be an interdimensional show.
That's the thing, and I think that's when we'll get it towards the end, or maybe in the last few episodes, we'll see how she's doing this, or where she's at. Maybe we'll finally get like a confirmation of she's dealing with more interdimensional stuff.
Okay.
I think because it's only the first 2 episodes right now, so we can't totally judge that it's not going
No,
to.
these are predictions that we're pretty much talking about. But everything, okay, from a production standpoint, I understand this, that Disney wants you to watch and pay attention to everything. Not for plot reasons.
No.
It doesn't have to be, but it needs you to buy into its product, right?
Yes.
So I can understand why WandaVision needs to be an essential view if you want to keep up with what's going on in Phase 4. Is it going to be oversaturated? It depends on how they play it, because Star Wars was oversaturated. We had episode 7, then we had a movie in between, then we had episode 8, then we had a movie in between. Then you have all these different series, and then there was just exhaustion after, right before episode 9 came out. I remember that we were all having Star Wars fatigue, right?
Yeah.
But Star Wars is so good. How could you be tired? Shut up.
There is such a thing called there's too much of a good thing.
Oversaturation of it, right? So I feel like if they don't play their cards right, that's how Phase 4 will end. But I can see Disney needing to say, look, Rene, you want to pay attention to Phase 4? WandaVision. Then you got to pay attention to What If, because maybe there's a little bit of like detail sprinkled in here of like events that happened in Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3.
Is What If the next show after WandaVision?
I don't know.
Let me see.
You got to look up at the
I gotta look
thing.
up the Marvel TV show lineup.
Yeah, but then you have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You have the Loki series. You have one of the biggest things to be basically talked about, Spider-Man 3. You have Moon Knight. All these different movies that are coming out, it's like it's all going to lead up. It's all basically setting up for Phase 4.
Yeah.
I'm saying basically a lot, but
Basically.
basically. But it's all setting up for Phase 4, right? So when we look at this, do we feel like it's oversaturated? Not yet.
Not yet.
But it just depends on how everything's being released and if you need to watch everything. You know, I feel like in order for you to maybe continue on with Phase 4, you may need to watch Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then watch the other mainline movies. But are the new like end of phases movies going to be Avengers, or are they going to be something different?
So here's the lineup for what's coming out this year. So the first one, they did come out with that Marvel Studios Legends, where they talk about each character and stuff like that. They talked about Iron Man, and then the next one they talked about Wanda and Vision in that one. WandaVision obviously comes out. It came out today, January 15th. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the next one coming out March 19th. Okay. So there's gonna be a gap. Every other month will be a show.
Because WandaVision supposedly ends what?
That should end by
end of February.
End of February. Ooh.
So we're only getting 8 episodes or 10.
Yeah.
8?
8. I think it's 8. I think.
Let's predict anywhere between 8 to 10 episodes.
8 to 10 episodes. I'm gonna say I will say it'll probably be 8 episodes because they've keeping it with the live action stuff as TV show wise. They're keeping it as a minimum as 8 episodes. They did that for Mandalorian, so we can only judge it from there. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out in March, and then basically Loki. Oh wow! So it will be a show after another, because Loki comes out in May.
So when's the movie? What movie would be next?
And then the movies they have yet to announce.
Oh wow! So we're only getting TV shows
because I think of the pandemic and everything, where they haven't. Remember, they also announced like Immortals. They were gonna start filming, and it got posted. It got pushed back. I mean, it's not even in the lineup here.
Do you think that maybe this is a last minute change?
I think
or do you think this was kind of already written in the?
I think now, with the pandemic, they didn't expect what was going to happen with the pandemic and stuff, and now that with the shutdown of Disneyland and stuff like that, I think they're focusing on their Disney Plus content now.
Do you think that Spider-Man's going to be the first movie to come out?
It might be
because it's the one that's talked about the most.
Black Widow still hasn't come out yet.
Oh,
but they have said that they don't want to put that on Disney Plus. They want to release that as a theater release. So basically, they want to wait until the pandemic's over.
There's a problem there because now you're going to have certain things coming out in different order that might not be the correct order. So is it going to force you to watch everything so you can understand what's going on?
I don't know. That's the thing. Black Widow was supposed to come out after Endgame, and
Black Widow was supposed to technically come out last year. Yeah, we're in 2021. Wow.
There was a whole year it got pushed back, basically. A whole another year it got pushed.
And it's still TBA?
Yeah. And then What If's supposed to come out after that. And then Miss Marvel comes out later. And I think that comes out the tail end of the year, along with the Hawkeye series as well.
Oh my God.
And then after that, it's supposed to be She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars.
I like how you rolled your Ironheart.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special in 2022.
Spider-Man?
And I Am Groot, Season 1. No Spider-Man. I think they're just making it, and they're going to basically hold off on it until... I think they expect by the time Spider-Man 3 is done filming, the pandemic will probably be over.
But that doesn't explain the order.
Yeah.
So this basically feeds into the fact that you have to watch everything in order for you to understand Phase 4.
Yeah.
So Phase 4 is not even going to have a structure.
And Phase 4 is all TV show bases now.
Phase 4 doesn't have a structure.
No.
It's going to be build as we go.
But you can't blame them for not having
a structure.
Of course
not. Of course not.
I mean, but the thing is that, they're working what they have.
Okay.
And some of the shows, like I said, okay, so now with WandaVision out, remember how we thought WandaVision was gonna be like the weirdest show now? Because we didn't understand what's going on, which is still happening, but we're getting at least a vibe of what's gonna happen in WandaVision. The one show now, the other show that we thought we were like, I don't understand any of it, is the Loki series.
No, the trailer made no sense.
It made no sense.
Not even the title. At least the title card for WandaVision was kind of fitting to what was being shown on the trailer, but the Loki title card, it's like all weird shapes and colors.
It's hopping around a lot.
Yeah.
It's hopping from different scenarios to another. So I don't know, because, okay, mind you, the original Loki died in Infinity War. This is a different timeline Loki.
This is a Loki that escaped when the Tesseract was dropped
in Avengers 1. So he doesn't technically have that character development that Loki did in Infinity War. If we're going off of continuity-wise, Marvel. So this is a different type of Loki that we're going to watch. This isn't the Loki that, mended things with his brother, Thor. See, now you're kind of disappointed, aren't you?
No, I'm slowly processing this.
Yeah.
I have that little rainbow circle thing that, Macs get when they're trying to like load something in my brain. So I'm trying to process everything because the key word that we keep throwing out there and making fun of is continuity.
Yeah.
That can be thrown out the window now.
It seems like that in Phase 4.
Because
they might be doing that. Because they're dealing with, again, that they've hinted, different realities, interdimensional stuff. That's the thing. And that's why I was kind of scared when they're going to start doing that, is that now they don't have to be on continuity as much as now. Some stuff they're probably going to let go, and they're just going to explain it. Oh, it's a different dimension.
Yes.
And I don't like that.
Good. Okay. So
because it just
my brain is like trying to wrap this up.
It gives them an excuse, basically. Like if they're told a question of, well, that didn't make sense because so and so
event 1 happened in event 2, or event 1 led to event 2, but now you're saying event 3
and now they're gonna just answer back saying, and it's in a different dimension.
So it's like, it's weird. This is kind of scaring me because I want Phase 4 to be good. Since it's a lot of Marvel properties that are getting introduced that are finally going to get the spotlight.
Going back to one of the issues we talked about was that what was going to happen after Endgame, and I think we talked about it in one issue. I don't remember. I know that we talked about it. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I knew what was going to happen was after Endgame, after the buildup for 10 years for Endgame to happen, I knew after that Marvel, the stories moving forward weren't going to be as great, or we weren't going to be as excited because we don't know what they're going to do next.
The expectation went from expecting the best to what am I going to look forward to?
Which is fair, because in Phase 1, the whole excitement of Phase 1 was that they were building to bring in the event. Are you okay?
Yeah, my head's just hot because I keep thinking about all this. It's like my brain's trying to process all this.
So I will say this. The Phase 1, or the whole point of watching Iron Man now, when Iron Man first came out, was that we found out that they're building for Avengers. Mm-hmm. So that what kept people coming to see these Marvel movies, is that we want to see the next hint for Avengers, the next little Easter egg and stuff like that. Then after Avengers came out, we got the hint of Thanos. And it's like, ooh, okay, so how is Thanos going to play? And that's what kept us going every single time. We never got that now after Endgame because, again, it was leading up to that. It was leading up to 10 years of world building and character development, and then, finally having all these characters come together and fight a main threat. Now, after that, I knew that basically, like I said before, it was going to be hard to try that again.
Okay. Let me throw you a curveball before I lose this thought process.
Okay, go ahead.
So, doesn't it make sense from a production standpoint to leave the satisfied Marvel fans to kind of make that decision if they want to continue, and just throw properties that we're going to bring in new fans or the new audience into Phase 4? Mm-hmm. Because the way I see it is this. We, like you said, Iron Man, technically, because we could say Hulk started it, but Iron Man technically started that assumption that it was going to build up towards Avengers. And that was Phase 1. Yeah. Then we get, what was the start of Phase 2? It was like
Phase 2. So basically, Phase 2 was, what started Phase 2? It was Avengers, and then after that, it was Iron Man 3. There was no build up in Phase 2. It was just basically.
But we had the idea that something was going to happen that was going to bring the Avengers back.
That's the thing. We knew basically that Thanos was going to be like the big threat leading up to everything.
The one that was going to happen years afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So we were fans since the beginning.
Yeah.
We knew that this was the big event that was going to lead up to the big finale of Infinity War and Endgame, right? So we've had our satisfaction. Mm-hmm. Disney is thinking, I'm trying to put myself in kind of like a business mind aspect. Mm-hmm. Disney is thinking we can only suck up the pockets of these guys as much as we can with all this. if we're going to think about phase 4, we need to bring new audience, a newer generation that's going to be interested in it. So we got to introduce new properties. We got to make sure that we hit as many markets as possible.
Yeah.
WandaVision might hit this, Loki might hit that. We have Moon Knight that might hit this, and then we're going to try to keep Miss Marvel. Yeah. We're going to try to keep the Marvel fans that have, that will continue to watch us and maybe make them interested by holding on to things like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, because this is going to connect it back to phase 3.
Yeah.
Right? So this allows them to kind of renew and refresh the franchise so that a newer generation can hop in. And if we choose to follow it, then we can. And if not, they can back out and they'll still make money because you have a bunch of people.
Yeah, you have another group of people.
Because have you ever met people that are just kind of like, I just don't like watching the whole thing? It's years and years worth of movies. And so have you ever met people like that? They're just like, oh yeah, I like the Iron Man series. Oh, did you watch like all the Captain America ones? Not really. Oh, did you watch like Age of Ultron? Yeah, it was a good movie. Did you watch anything else before that? I don't want to.
Not really, actually. I've met people that watched movies that they didn't care for Marvel movies, but then they became significant later on in other movies, and they're like, yeah, that was referenced in that one in Captain America: First Avenger. Oh, you know what? I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I've had that.
I've met people that are just kind of like watching one movie because they like that hero, but then don't even bother watching.
I think that happened with my girlfriend, where we talked about she was watching WandaVision, and she didn't. What was it? There was something that was referenced or something. Oh, it was the whole FBI agent from Ant-Man and Wasp that he was talking at the end of episode 2 and through the radio and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh, really?" She goes, and I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh," she goes, "I hardly remember Ant-Man and Wasp." And I'm just like, "Yeah, well,
but it's and so she has that option to choose.
Yeah.
So with phase 4, what I'm thinking is Disney's kind of allowing that audience to pick and choose what they want to watch, and it does tie in it. But if you don't really want to, I feel like if for us who want the full story, we have to watch everything. Yeah. But for those that just want the WandaVision, they just want the Loki.
Yeah, just to follow those characters.
They have that.
Yeah.
And it's all about audience retention. How long can we keep you glued to our services so you can watch that? That's probably what phase 4 is going to be setting up.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's a wide variety for people to come in and say,
pick and choose
what you want. It's a comic book store.
That's true.
So with that said, I kind of want to lead into this route of trying to debunk or maybe talk about the rumors that have been coming up.
Yeah.
Because WandaVision only set us up so much about what to think in terms of phase 4. Yeah. But like I said, you have all these properties in front of you that might be coming out this year and 2 years down the line, right? The biggest one right now, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones that everyone keeps talking about. And we've had clues and actors being brought in.
So many like rumors or people saying so-and-so was on set or so-and-so did this or appeared, so.
We talked about Spider-Man 3 in one of our previous issues. And we said that we don't really care in listening to this whole rumor about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield maybe being on it, maybe not. We want to be surprised, right?
Yeah.
But we did get confirmation that the actor who played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 will be reprising his role.
Yes.
Right? And that we know that Doctor Strange...
Oh, and Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx will be reprising his role as...
Electro.
So then that's where it's like... And then we have Benedict Cumberbatch coming in it and already finishing filming his... Did he finish? I don't think he finished his movie or being in Spider-Man 3.
I don't know if he did or did not. I think he did because it was maybe he just did a cameo or something like that, or maybe not a cameo. Maybe did like a few scenes and that was it, because they haven't mentioned or did they mention he wrapped filming?
I think so. I think that's why they brought up the fact, or maybe that's why they were talking about him being on set there.
Because it wasn't long then.
So Spider-Man 3, whatever it may be titled, I think will probably be the introduction. No, because then you have Black Widow. And that could probably introduce multiverse.
It might not, because Black Widow happens right after Civil War.
So it could just be a backstory.
Timeline. So it's a prequel. Not a prequel, but it's a story that happens like how Black Panther was. Remember when Black Panther came out after Thor Ragnarok?
Okay.
That Black Panther happens right after Civil War.
Okay. So the multiverse might be teased in a way that's very obvious and not just hinted at using different words. We could probably see it as early as Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It could. Yeah, we could.
And then we can get the final, like, hard evidence in Spider-Man, because there's no reason why, there's obviously no other reason why you would bring Jamie Foxx and who's playing Doc Ock?
Oh, I don't even know. I forgot.
Can you look him up? Because I don't want to just keep saying Doc Ock and no Jamie Foxx. This is the only actor. But there really isn't a reason to bring him back unless you're talking about, different universe Spider-Man. Because
you have a villain from Tobey Maguire's universe and you have a villain from Andrew Garfield's universe
in a movie about the newer Spider-Man. So obviously it's multi-universe, right?
Alfred Milano?
Okay, close enough.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
But definitely we'll get multi-universe references in Loki.
Yeah.
Because you do see him hopping from one place to another in that trailer.
Yeah.
So that's official that we're going to get it there, right?
Yeah, so I think we'll get the whole universe, like you said, universe hopping in Loki. It'll be like the final okay, yeah, it's possible in Loki.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you did mention before that the whole continuity thing. It's like, maybe we choose this to have that and this and to have that and all this other stuff. Don't you think that maybe the whole multiverse aspect is kind of that little loophole that gets them away from shows that they didn't want to make or shows that they kind of want to just back catalog and say technically it was a part of the universe, but we no longer want to fit it in and we'll just pick and choose what we want to keep in this new phase 4.
But that just makes me feel like to me, that's like the equivalent of saying, oh yeah, that happened off screen.
Technically you can't get away with that. You can, I mean, they can say it didn't happen, but we know it did because Daredevil is an example.
Yes.
They don't say that Avengers happened, the events of Avengers happened.
No.
But we do see.
They do see, and then they do mention they call it the incident.
I don't care what you call it. There's a newspaper clipping of the giant freaking alien worm thing crashing through a building. Call it what you will. I don't care if you say, "Oh, I have a smoothie," when we clearly see the ostrich.
Yeah.
It happened.
Well, they mentioned even Captain America and Thor.
Yes.
They said oh yeah, you don't see me with wings, with a winged hat or a winged suit, winged ears, throwing a shield around.
A high school valedictorian.
Yeah, and then also mentioning Thor. I think one of the villains in Daredevil said I don't care if he has a hammer.
Yeah.
So.
Call it what you will.
Yeah.
I don't care. These things happened in that universe.
No. Yeah.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox
just finished
filming
for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
So this means that they're probably picking and choosing properties they want to take in and be like, yes, this is phase 4 material.
We'll use the loved Netflix show Daredevil. What about Iron Fist? Get out of here. Get out of here. We don't
just relax. Just stop. Just okay. Jessica Jones supposedly is reprising her role again.
Really?
Yeah.
What's her name? What's your
look it up. That's why you're the man with the computer.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm here.
But I forget what movie she supposedly is rumored to be in. I think just look her up and she'll probably be.
Oh, Kristen Ritter.
Where is she supposedly rumored to pop in? It's right there. As soon as you Google search her, she should be a name that says she's rumored to be here. But they're even bringing her back, supposedly according to that rumor. So they're picking and choosing what properties they want to take in, and then they might. What was that series that crashed everything, all realities, and there was only one? God Doom.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that series called?
Oh man, that was Secret Wars.
Was it Secret Wars?
Secret.
The new Secret Wars.
Yeah, it was called Secret. So okay, Secret Wars, because in the original it was called Secret War. This one was called Secret Wars.
Do you think that might be the one that they're using for this one and not the Skrull one?
They do. They are bringing in Fantastic Four now in this new.
Oh my God! Yeah. They are bringing Fantastic Four. Oh my God! There's a lot to think about.
Oh, so yeah, Jessica Jones is as supposed to return in She-Hulk Disney Plus series. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So now, like, we get all these
Well,
different rumors.
There was supposed to be, so basically after the whole Netflix cut all the shows, all the Marvel shows, there was something in the contract that said if Marvel or Netflix didn't put out any of those new properties for the next, I think it was like couple of years, it was a certain amount of years, then that means Netflix now forfeits those rights and Disney can take them back and use those characters if they wanted to in other properties.
But Netflix keeps the shows to stream.
Yes. Kind of like how, you know how like Hulk can be featured in Marvel movies, but he can't have his own standalone movie because Universal owns the rights to a Hulk titled film.
You just made my head hurt and my heart hurt at the same time. Like, just thinking about all this,
Yeah.
all these loopholes that have to happen.
That's what happens when. Sorry.
Give me a
sorry,
pinboard.
Okay, sorry.
This is what's happening.
Like from where's that
And then it
meme?
connects to this.
Where's that meme from?
Is it from?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Here, and this connects
Yeah.
here, and then this leads to. That
So yeah, apparently Universal owns the rights to a Hulk named film. They can't. So Marvel can't put out a Hulk titled film.
God.
But they could put out She-Hulk. And I think that's what they're gonna. That's like the loophole.
We can't have.
Which
Hulk.
I don't understand. How come Disney negotiates with them? If not,
Probably because it doesn't matter to the story. If they can just use Hulk in the movies, okay,
there
then
are
you're fine.
so many Hulk fans out there that would want to see an MCU based Hulk movie.
Yeah, the same thing could be said about Nova and them
That's true.
teasing him in Guardians 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not
They
even
just-
teasing. They just show that okay, the Nova Corps exists.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like if they feel like they need to have that property, they will. Because think about how big of a deal it was that they almost lost Spider-Man
Yeah.
because Sony wanted a different contract. They pick and choose exactly where they can go with it. They're not as stupid as we want them to think, or as they're not as stupid as we want to believe they are.
Yeah, that's true.
They're smart. They know how to, move the money around and say like, yes, we understand there's Hulk fans, but we're not going to spend millions and millions of dollars to get that property back to make a one movie that might not even recover the money.
Yeah.
If we can already have him, he popped up in Ragnarok, in the Avengers movies, in, practically made, appearances every here now and then. That's fine. They don't need to spend millions of dollars to make a movie when these movies are already making millions anyways. Right? So you have all this, again, the rumors for Spider-Man 3 are just leading to just massive multi-dimensional, multi-universe, events. Doctor Strange, the title, The Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Is it? We don't know much about that, but again, multiverse is pretty much the hint that we're going to have some sort of like rift open with everything coming out, and this is probably where they can pick and choose exactly what they want to keep to move on. What was the other thing? You said Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. What else?
But do you think that movies like Fantastic Four, because these are now they have 20th Century Fox,
Yeah.
so they have rights to Fantastic Four, they have
They have the rights for X-Men.
mutants.
Yes. They have the rights to be called stuff mutants now.
What? Say it.
No, it's just like, what if now it's like they could be using, like, instead of calling instead of hinting at X-Men, they could start hinting stuff like calling people like mutants and stuff like that now.
So you know how in House of M, Scarlet Witch, is it in House of M where she
Basically says no more mutants,
and half the mutant population dies?
that's like 5% of the 5% of the mutant population is left.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it isn't until Avengers vs. X-Men that they all get brought back. Right?
No.
Eh?
No, they get brought back at the end of the arc, but I think
But AVX is the one
AV
that kind of finishes and brings them.
yeah, it brings them together. It's the whole, like, it brings the mutant community back together, if anything.
And if you haven't read AVX, I highly recommend it. It's a
Really
good series.
good.
Really
Again,
good series.
that comic book shows how powerful Scarlet Witch is.
I actually have all of
She takes
single issues of
on
AVX.
her and Hope Summers take on a fully powered Phoenix-powered Cyclops.
Have I ever shown you the comic book collections that I have?
No, you hide it. It's not out and like presented out.
No, because I don't want people to take them. I have all the first prints.
Don't breathe on them.
I have all first prints of the original Civil War arc and AVX.
I hate you. That's amazing.
But I'm thinking about it.
But I do have the first printing of Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, so do I.
Bastard.
If you watch, no, actually, yeah. Fun fact: if you watch or if you play these podcasts on YouTube, the little
that's right, yeah, I forgot.
The first print of Spider-Gwen is on there. Mm-hmm. So that's the first print.
I'm surprised you throw that down. Like,
it's not bent, and I've only opened it once.
That's true.
So if it's graded, it'll probably be like at a 7 or 8.
It's like 3.
But, what? No,
because they go back and they see how you threw it, and they're like, nope.
No, but did I throw it, or I think it's no? Yeah, you're right. I do throw it because
you kind of You don't throw it down. You just kind of give it like.
But there's a cardboard on it, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
CGC's like, no, it's not.
They're stingy about everything. You breathe on it, it's like, nope, there's a little dent right here. Where?
I can
like
tell
microscopic.
on the time that you bought it, your fingerprints were covered. They dwell back into your history.
On this time. What are you, watchers?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So 3.4.
But going back to this, you know what? I feel like talking about all this, I'm starting to feel that what we got ourselves into is like, we just, are you okay?
I'm just kidding. I'm just
I feel like
on my
when because we planned this out, we said that this was the issue, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the way we see it right now is, we were probably saying, oh yeah, Rene, you know what? You and I are going to clean up this room. This is a very messy room,
yes,
but we can do it in a day.
We got this.
And then we open the door and it's just like a pile of clothes just fall on top of us.
And we're just
like,
sitting there on the floor, Indian style, crossing our legs and just talking about, so I got this shirt like over here and stuff. I got it from this place. Oh yeah, I really like it. Like we're just sidetracking
and we're like
from our main task.
Rene, where do we go from here? I don't know where to start. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're already like 40 minutes into this.
We're 50 minutes in.
Holy crap! But it's like, because like now looking at all this, there's a lot to expect from Phase 4.
Yes.
And now the more I talk about it, the more I'm learning to appreciate what is to come from Phase 4. Mm-hmm. We started with WandaVision. Mm-hmm. Then we moved on to the next 3 series, the Black Widow movie, the Spider-Man movie. Mm-hmm. Then you mentioned Fantastic Four, the possibility of X-Men coming in. Yeah. We haven't even talked about Deadpool 3.
No.
And Deadpool 3... is it Kevin Feige that said this, or is this someone else?
I think this was
this wasn't Ryan Reynolds.
No, it wasn't Ryan Reynolds, but I don't think it was Kevin Feige.
It was someone. It was a producer that's working on this. I think
because they found the writers for Deadpool 3,
yes,
which are the writers for Bob's Burgers.
Yes, but they confirmed it's on
somewhere on this board.
If you look at this board, right here in writing, it says now a part of the MCU.
Yeah. And it's going to be rated R.
It's there. It's
rated R. It says it right.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I had to look at it closer. Yeah. Said it's rated R. According to this board right here that we clearly have in the studio.
That's 100% real.
It says that it's a part of the MCU. Mm-hmm. Rated R. Mm-hmm. Were these last minute decisions they're making?
I guess so. I think they're finally realizing that if they try to change up anything and sort of, for at least Deadpool wise, fans are not going to appreciate it at all.
I don't like the continuity. Let's quote Rene 20 minutes back.
Okay.
I don't like this continuity stuff because then they just get to pick and choose what they like. Mm-hmm. Rene, multi-universe options allow you to put your hand into this portal hole right here and say, oh, look, Deadpool. Deadpool's now canon to the MCU.
If Deadpool mentions that he is now in the DC,
no,
Disney
rephrase
universe.
Rephrase that sentence. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rephrase that sentence.
If Deadpool,
no, not if.
When Deadpool mentions, he will. If he mentions that, he's like, go back.
This Deadpool he's a cheating character.
Mm-hmm. I want him to wear like a Disney shirt. Yeah, and like just say we're Disney now.
Yes, you know.
He did that for his movie that hasn't come out yet, Free Guy, where he did a promotion video with the other actors.
Oh yeah.
And he's all like, and then he's like trying to promote merch.
Yes.
And he goes, "We're Disney now, so we gotta up our merch game." He's like,
but here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna happen.
There's gonna be so many ideas that Ryan Reynolds wants to do that Disney's gonna say no.
Oh well, look.
And I want to say yes to the first thing he wants to do.
I'm going to say the F word right after I say Disney. Disney's going to say, get out of my office. You know that's going to happen. But keep in mind, when they bought 20th Century Fox, what did The Simpsons do to promote that they were going to be on Disney+? They had the family dress up in Mickey ears. Yeah. And Homer said, "Smile, you want to impress the new bosses." Not exactly in those words, but that's like alluding to the fact that Mickey's like watching them.
What if... That just gave me an idea right now. What if the whole movie, he doesn't mention Disney, but then towards like the end, like a gag, like how in Deadpool 2 where he goes back in time? What if at the end he does like a gag where it's like, okay, well now I got to mention somewhat of me being in Disney, and they show pictures of him in Disneyland.
Yes. The whole like when they put Darth Vader and the stormtroopers on Dumbo. That's what I want, but I want it green screened because they can't do it. No, they can't. But like the whole thought process is like, we're gonna do it, but we're not gonna do it on site. That's fine. That's fine.
See, so many possibilities with Deadpool and Disney, or Deadpool in the MCU as well too.
We mentioned that Deadpool has,
I wanted to mention that basically like characters are dead, and he wishes that he was around to see like Steve Rogers or Tony Stark.
Yeah.
When he sees like the new versions of them and stuff like that, like Ironheart because I got spoiled this today, was Falcon as Captain America.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's the thing. Okay, I knew it was gonna happen, but I guess I wanted it. Like I said,
I wanted to be surprised. I wanted
to see the costume for the first time in the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize for that.
Yeah, no problem.
I apologize for that. But I think that I'm not super excited to see the costume, and that's why I was like just so willing to share it because I've already seen it in the comics.
No, that's the thing. It looks exactly like how it does in the comics, which I'm kind of shocked that they like verbatim. It looks like it.
Yeah.
But again, I just wanted to see Bucky as Captain America first, or Captain America in general.
Sure.
Wait, but hey, you haven't read that run of Bucky as Captain America. It's super good.
It is good, but it's like, that's not going to sell as much as a Falcon Captain America.
That's true.
The issues didn't sell so well, which is why they reverted it quickly back to Steve Rogers after a couple issues. That's awkward.
Like I said, it was basically when that happened, when they ever do stuff like that, you're basically waiting around for Steve Rogers to come back. In comic book wise, if you kill any sort of character that was the original character of that said superhero or comic book series, you're just waiting around for that character to come back.
Yes.
They did that for Batman. They've done it for Superman. They've done it for Captain America. Everyone that's died has always came back. And what sells too is like, oh, look, they're coming back. Issue 1,
Speaking about that.
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
Yes. Good transition.
Transition?
No,
Rene, this is all you. You're the one talking about this. You're feeding me this ammunition. I'm simply the marksman. So, okay. Chris Evans killed it. He said, I didn't hear anything about this.
This is news to me.
This is news to me, ass. God, I hate, okay. I don't like, Captain America's rubbed me the wrong way in the MCU. I'll clearly say that. What was that? Which one was the one where there was like supposedly an end credit scene and it was just Captain America coming out and saying like, oh, you thought it was an end credit scene?
Oh, yes. That was in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
He goes, so you've waited around for something significant to happen just to be disappointed at the end.
What an ass. That was the day I remember in the theater because Andy was with me.
Yeah.
And she was just like, she laughed and then she looked at me and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, what an asshole. I was like, I waited for something and you just come out here
and have it pointed out.
Coming all here as the American, the role model of America. You waited this long for something? That sucks.
Just like,
hey, Steve Rogers. I'm glad. No, because he didn't die. just grew old. He's still around.
So did Stan Lee.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, the whole Captain America thing.
Speaking of which, did you hear? I mean, I don't know why people are now finding out about this. Originally, Stan Lee's cameo in Endgame was supposed to be old Steve Rogers. He was originally supposed to be old Steve Rogers, and would explain why he pops up in different places in.
I don't like that explanation so much.
That's
it would have
the
been
thing.
cool, but I don't.
But that's the thing. I thought they explained that whole him popping up at different places as because he was
Watcher.
with the Watchers. Yeah.
I like that better
I like
because we
that,
get
yeah.
that in Guardians too. And I like that theory more because he's explaining and talking to the Watchers about the different
Yeah.
things he's seen. I'm like, yeah, that's a better
he's
version
all
of
like,
it.
So I was a postman and stuff like that. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's better. When did this rumor come out? 2 days ago?
Yeah.
That Chris Evans supposedly, or no, was this today? January 15th. It was in between January
it was
13th
yesterday.
and 15th.
No, it was yesterday.
January 14th and the 15th.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get a rumor. Hey, Chris Evans is in talks to come back as Captain America. Ooh.
I was mad. I was like, you better explain.
You better.
Or
you
be
mother
so
effers
clever
better
on
tell me.
why he's coming, because they didn't say he would come back as Steve Rogers. He
No.
said they have said he will reprise his role as Captain America.
Yeah, and we had a conversation in our group chat, and I said, hey, you know what? Maybe it could be something along the lines of like a cameo, a flashback sequence, something where he doesn't
Which,
necessarily have to
that's-
come back as
that's
Captain
fine.
America.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a cameo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you calm down. After I said that, you're like, I can live that.
I can live with that.
I can
Yeah.
live with that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Because I hate when people can't accept the fate of certain characters in movies and or comic books sometimes.
Because we've been spoiled from comic books.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. In a movie verse,
Yeah.
do we call them the normies? Or is that too old of a term now?
I think that's too old of a term.
Okay. Oh my God.
We can't even say casuals.
That was like 2015,
Yeah,
bro.
That was your podcast.
Casualties.
Casualties.
Dang. But whatever that is, the people that don't read the comic books,
Moving forward.
they have to live with the fact that if a character dies, they're dead, because how do you bring them back?
Yeah.
You know that it requires money, contract extensions, raises, all these different things, right? It's business.
That's why Disney killed off Iron Man
Tony
in
Stark.
Endgame. Robert Downey Jr. was like the highest paid actor
Yeah.
in that whole movie.
Yeah, no, he was going to cost more than like what he was like. He would double his salary or
Kevin
whatever. it
Feige's
is.
like, we gotta find a way to stop paying Downey, man. Like,
No more cameos, no more nothing.
no more
You're
cameos.
done.
Yeah, and then now people are like saying, "Oh, he could go back as an AI and have his daughter." Like, shut up! No, I don't like that. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing, is that
I
you
got
know
really
that it's
heated right there for a moment.
Are we finally 31 issues and we're
30
finally experiencing Renee having an outburst?
Yeah, that was.
I've had an
that was a
outburst
weak
like every
moment.
2 issues.
That was a weak moment. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Now do you feel? Now do you know how I feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've been spoiled as comic book readers that if a character dies, they're always going to come back.
Yeah.
You don't kill Captain America in Civil War and be like, yeah, he's dead.
They like in comic book world, I think they killed him off like 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
now. They killed off Superman.
They killed out. Oh my
like,
God.
so many times.
When they killed off Spider-Man and they started the Superior Spider-Man arc, did I ever told you the story of how like I was like in a very sad mood and I had like an own little tribute to Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, because you hated the Superior Spider-Man.
I love and hate it.
Yeah.
Dan Slott can.
You hate Dan Slott.
I love and hate Dan Slott.
No, you just don't. You're saying that for the podcast.
No, I love and hate him because like
I don't like him now, honestly.
I haven't really kept up much with it.
It
but-
was it was okay. So I will say this: Dan Slott, he was a great writer when it came to Superior Spider-Man. It was really good, and then after that, he led up to the whole Spider-Verse, which was good. I like Spider-Verse,
I don't.
but it seemed like
I
he didn't
don't.
have a plan after,
No,
because after Spider-Verse came out, it was
but that's why you have Spider-Man restarting from the beginning. He lost his whole laboratory and stuff, and he's back to being what he is.
Nick Spencer now is doing a phenomenal job with Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, oh man. Oh yeah. Okay, that's right. So when Spider-Man died in issue 500, I mourned for like a week.
700.
Was it 700?
It was 700. Yeah, it was 700. He died.
Why
in
did
700.
500 become? What's specific about 500?
I think 500 was the whole making the deal with the devil thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was different. So 700. Yeah. Okay, now you're right. Yeah, I remember issue 700. He dies. Then we wait a couple months. We get Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Doc Ock is now Spider-Man. And I remember being so frustrated. And when there was a Geeks, the comic book store here in Uptown Whittier, I remember going into that store and getting the issue and just hating it and being like, why the F are we having Doc Ock as Spider-Man? But was it a bi-weekly issue?
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, I would be at that store and I'd have the comic book ready and be like, oh, God, this is so gross. I hate this.
Just watching like a train wreck
And
happening.
it just kept going. But deep down, somewhere in here in my heart, I knew that he would come back.
Yeah.
And then he did. His conscience was in his brain.
Yeah.
So we're spoiled as comic book readers to know that they're going to come back. So you have that anticipation. The people that are constantly saying, oh, but Tony Stark will come back. Those are the casual comic book readers that don't understand, but haven't accepted the fact that people cost money to be in movies. So Steve Rogers or Chris Evans coming back as Captain America was the rumor. Then he goes on Twitter and he says, news to me. Basically just killing off that entire rumor.
Oh yeah.
But we know Chris Evans lies.
He does.
He teases this thing. So this is,
I mean, it's notorious that Marvel actors, paid Marvel actors, are under contract to not say anything. They cannot mention what projects they are doing. They cannot mention what stories they are doing or what's on the script. They are specifically told when they do interviews, you could like I think like a paper, and it's like, this is what you can only talk about. You could talk about your experience filming. You can't talk about the story. You can't talk about certain characters you're talking to, interacting with. You could say your experience on everything, or how you feel about coming back as the character or doing the character and stuff like that, and what you had to do for the character. But that's it.
nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
And they even get the electronic, like all the scripts are all done through a tablet, and they expire within a certain amount of length, and they're just forever gone. So,
I think he's teasing.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, he's throwing. He's basically throwing a cloak over it and just be like, "This is that's not real. Don't worry about it, guys."
It's kind of smart to do that because you're essentially killing off the rumor.
Yeah.
Because look at how big that rumor about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being on that being on Spider-Man 3 has gone.
But
and no one speaks about it at all.
Yeah, but Tom Holland never talked about it. Neither has the directors.
To be fair, Tom Holland has 4 other movies that he's been on.
I know, he's been getting a lot of work.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. Did you see the trailer for him? He's
Cherry.
Cherry. Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I'm gonna watch it.
It looks really good, actually. I'm like, it looks good. Apple and HBO Max are coming out with so much content now. I've watched 4 or 5 different trailers. Each one of them was either an Apple show, Apple movie, or a HBO Max series.
2020, the 20s.
This
man.
is the new norm.
This is the 20. Wow, we could say this is the 20s.
Oh, finally! Yeah, this is the 20s.
Whoa!
In the 2020s.
Are you talking about the 1920s? No, we're talking about the 2020s. the year that started it all, terrible. 2021, here's hoping it's good.
Oh, God.
We're in the 20s, guys. 10 years from now, we're in the 30s again. God dang it, man. I feel so old now. I don't like this.
How long are we gonna keep this podcast going if we're already old? And they're just remember
back in issue 31 when we were talking about how old we were? Now we're 557 issues in.
Now we're just old.
Let's do a podcast issue where we're just talking in old man voices and pretending we're far into the future.
Far into the future.
I got to do the math on it though.
Oh my God.
How far are we?
I don't want to look into the years. I don't want. I've already started this episode with me accepting my inevitable death. I don't want to look into how old I'll be in. No.
Let's take a page from the Marvel universe and travel back in time. Let's just do that. Is there anything else we got to talk about in terms of Phase 4? Honestly, there's so much to look at.
There's so much we could talk about, but I feel like nothing else. We've literally tackled on the topics that we said we were going to talk about.
Holy crap, man. My head hurts. Just thinking about all the stuff that has to come out. And the rumors are only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
Because Marvel's not teasing anything. They've already released the things that needed to be released. They've already talked about it. They don't need to say anything anymore. So it's just a matter of time to see when things start to come out, what to expect next.
Yeah.
And I think WandaVision is only going to keep that mystery, much more of a mystery.
Yeah.
It won't give us any details about anything until the show ends, and it'll lead us into
definitely
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah.
That's
WandaVision's gonna open the door for all this like weird space and multi-reality things by the end of at the end of this season. Now I'm thinking, okay, so there won't be a season 2 of WandaVision after this. If we're thinking about it wise, there's not gonna be a season 2.
So this is where that oversaturation comes into play. We're gonna come back to what started all this conversation. If you're gonna predict that there's no season 2 of WandaVision, then you have to keep the train rolling by giving us more content that isn't WandaVision.
Yeah.
You're killing off that show. The next one is going to be Winter Soldier or Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
then Loki. Then you get your movies. Then what's going to come afterwards? You have all these different things that are going to be coming afterwards. I think that it's going to make us satisfied that we only got one season of WandaVision. Could be right.
Yeah, because Vision's dead. Unless she finds a way to bring back Vision and then if she brings back Vision from the dead, or Vision comes, full-fledged, he's back, then there's a reason to have WandaVision again. In case.
Maybe WandaVision's just a show to get things going, to have Wanda and Vision be central main characters in Phase 4 here on out. Because whatever the big event's going to be at the end of Phase 4, you're going to have to include some of these characters, your most popular ones. Avengers, when we think back of Avengers, the first one, your main cast was Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk. Black Widow technically doesn't count because she was featured, but like she was the one that she became essential in Avengers, but she wasn't like the one that everyone looked forward to.
Yeah.
I think your big three are those, right?
Yeah, the big three were Hulk, Thor, Captain America, and
Thor.
Iron Man.
That's right. Yeah, your big four.
Your big four.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what we were looking forward to back then.
Yeah.
Who do we have to look forward to in the big event for Phase 4? I think that's what's probably being set up.
Yeah.
You have Moon Knight that's coming out. You have Spider-Man 3. Obviously, Spider-Man's going to be one of those.
Yeah.
But then WandaVision could be setting up that cast to be essential people.
I think also, obviously, we're forgetting one character because he passed away, was Black Panther. I think Black Panther was...
Depends on how they approach it.
Well, that's no. I'm saying like he was originally in the plan to be featured in other Avengers movies, but because of Chadwick Boseman getting diagnosed with cancer and stuff like that, and his passing away, that obviously would add another addition to changing things up as well too.
Yeah,
because they were planning to do Black Panther 2.
Which they still are.
They still are, but they have announced that... I can't believe we haven't talked about it. They have announced that they are going to... They officially said they are not going to bring... They're not going to do like a Black Panther character. It's just will be basically doing the world of Black Panther.
So maybe it's not even going to be called Black Panther 2.
Yeah, it could be called just like Wakanda or something like that.
What's the sister's name?
Shuri. But even then, Shuri has... the actress that played Shuri says that she doesn't feel comfortable yet donning the Black Panther character.
Could be that maybe they just canned Black Panther 2 and just use Wakanda as like momentum to move other franchises forward.
Yeah, because there's plenty of characters they can still use for a Black Panther 2 movie, but not having Black Panther, and you can just follow those characters as they are.
Killmonger,
he's dead though.
They can bring him back.
They could.
Multiverse.
Or we could. Oh, that's true. Or they could do M'Baku. So I don't know.
It's there's a lot to anticipate, but I think
there is.
We can revisit this.
Yes.
Once WandaVision's over.
Yeah, I think we'll get a full-fledged idea of what Phase 4 will be at the end of.
We say that, and then we know we're gonna be like, "Did you learn anything from WandaVision?" No. It's not gonna happen.
I guess because we're hoping.
To just something. Oh man.
All right.
Rene, can we let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. You're doing the outro.
Am I? Oh shoot!
Hey, it opened with me not having it up, and it closes with Bryan not having it up as well.
But I can easily pull out the script. I mean, not the script. I can pull out the file in my brain to do this quickly. All right, guys. So, how long was this podcast?
This might have been our not shortest, but definitely not. we didn't go over time. We're an hour and 14 minutes right now.
Wow.
Well, we talked about a lot too. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, it's heavy stuff. Like, we came into this thinking that it was going to be a lot to think about. Probably doesn't feel like a long time, but I'm exhausted from talking about all the Marvel
because
stuff.
we did more content before this as well too. So
Oh yeah, we filmed the videos. Yeah. With that said, if you want to check out those videos about WandaVision, they're going to be up on our YouTube channel, and they'll be going up every Monday until WandaVision ends. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the notification button, let us know what you guys think. We're trying to make sure that our YouTube channel gets momentum. We have, consistent viewership on our podcast, or listenership, whatever you want to call it, on our podcast, but we want to make sure that we get that traction on our YouTube channel. For our podcast, they come up every Wednesday at 11:30 if you're a new listener, and can be found on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Let us know what you guys think. Follow our Instagram and Twitter as well. Keeping Up with the Nerds. Just look us up. We'll be right there. And let us know what you guys think. We want to talk to you guys, and we'll take your suggestions, shout you out if you guys talk to us. So with that said, are we ready to wrap up the show?
Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. I'm your host, Bryan.
Rene.
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. Recording at Undercity Comics. We thank you, citizens, once again, and hope to see you all next time.